So you've learned the 7 modes of the major scale. Great job. Now, how do you apply them in a real musical situation? Because I'm pretty sure you don't want to write songs like this. Unless you do, then just skip this lesson. So how do you find chords that relate to these different modes and make the modes sound different? Because really, as you know, every mode is simply the same notes just starting from a different root. So if we're in the context of, say, the G major scale, starting from the 3rd fret, our root note is G. Now, here is F sharp Locrian. So as you could hear, this Ionian contains all the notes of F sharp Locrian. So really, the reason the major scale and other scales are broken out into modes is so that you can access different colors of the scale based on the positional playing. And those colors are brought to life by what chords are behind them. So to understand when to use these modes over which chords, first we want to go back to the basics of understanding that each mode of the major scale corresponds with either a major 7, minor 7, or minor 7 flat 5 chord. So the first mode of the major scale, Ionian, is a major 7 chord as its foundation. Second mode, Dorian, is a minor 7 chord as its foundation. Phrygian, the 3rd mode, is also a minor 7 chord as its foundation. Then we have Lydian, the 4th mode, with a major 7 as its foundation. And then we have Mixolydian, the 5th mode, with a dominant 7 as its foundational chord. Then we have the 6th mode, our very familiar Aeolian, which is a minor 7. And then finally, the 7th mode, Locrian, is a minor 7 flat 5 as its foundation. Then we're back to the original, Ionian. So with that understanding, we can then find out exactly which chords will sound or emote certain mode positions. So if we have a chord progression, so we have a G minor 7, and then an A flat major 7. That is very conducive for the Phrygian sound because we know the 3rd chord of the major scale, 3rd mode of the major scale, Phrygian, is a minor 7. And then we know that the 4th mode, Lydian, is a major 7. So check that out. So that is basically how you can determine this is a Phrygian progression or this is a Lydian progression. It's based on the chords that are behind it and what key those chords are derived from. So the thought process is, I see this G minor 7 chord, I see this A flat major 7 chord, I understand that this is a Phrygian progression because of the relationship of those chords in the context of the overall major key, which in this key would be E flat. Because as we know, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, that's our Phrygian sound. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. So that is how I arrived at understanding that this is a G Phrygian chord progression, because I found the root note just by figuring out those diatonic chords and where they fell on the guitar neck. So that's the thought process that you should have when you're trying to figure out what mode to use over what chords, is figuring out where those chords' home base is. So if I see this relationship, I'll say, where is the 1? And it's right here. And then after that, you can get creative with figuring out how to phrase using this Phrygian sound, emphasizing certain chord tones that really bring out that Phrygian sound, etc. So to summarize this whole concept, first you want to learn your major scale modes, and then you want to learn the chords that go along with each mode, and from there you can assemble chord progressions and understand which modes are going to technically sound good. Meaning, if this is the chord progression, you're not going to play G Mixolydian. That doesn't make sense. What does make sense is G Phrygian, because of the chords that are underlying. So I'm going to throw on this exact vamp and show you how I like to improvise in this Phrygian context, just for a little musical interlude or example, maybe to get some creative juices flowing for you. And if a lot of this stuff is new to you or it's a little unclear, then my course Guitar Super System, which is linked in the description below, will be a great way to understand all the modes and the chords and how they can be implemented into your guitar playing, how you can use them to improvise and create your own music, and also understand how to improvise with other musicians. So I hope this helped you out. I hope you enjoy, and please leave a comment if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them.